And greetings from Tokyo. I will go through the presentation. I think it's about 10-15 minutes, if I am right. And thank you for being here with me. So I'm going to skip my bio because this is nothing relevant for today, but just to give you my email address and also my connections, just in case you want to keep in touch with me. So what we are going to talk today, I'm going to approach, is about how the current situation is impacting to the companies in terms of resilience and agility, and also how can we use Industry 4.0 to survive in the current situation. So let's go to approach to the context. It's going to be a strategic approach, my presentation, and because also having these big experts as a panelist, I am here to learn from them, and to share my expertise in researching and as executive in resilience and agility. So we were living before the COVID-19 in a constant change. So a constant change accelerated by globalization and disruptive technologies. But suddenly, COVID-19 come, and then we have to change our normal life. And now we are living in many countries with social distancing, quarantine, isolation, and we are wondering when our life will be normal again. But the point is that the normality we knew before is over. So we are going to have a new normality, but we need to move quickly to this new normality. What happened is that everything is uncertain. So this virus is a known virus. We don't know almost nothing about the evolution. The information of the spread is not homogeneous, nor transparent. Also, the impact varies by countries and the policies varies by countries. Governments apply different measures to contain the spread, and governments also apply different programs to stimulate the economy. In a globalization, in a global supply chain, it's become very difficult to manage these disruptions in the upstream and in the downstream, because we have a lack of customer demand. Because, for example, in Spain, all the shops, restaurants are closed, but also we have a lack of suppliers because no transportation, regular transportation at that time. So then we are moving from the VUCA times about volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, but in exponential, everything is up, and the world is totally covered by a face mask. But panic is not our best advisor. So how can we react against this situation, which is very unknown? The best way is calm. Calming our mind is the ultimate weapon against our challenges. So it's best is relax. And also, just following the wind is not a good strategy. It's not a strategy. So now the companies become digital because we have to move to digital because the outbreak. So, but the companies that they didn't have a digital strategy to go to the Industry 4.0, now they are in a big problem, and they have to go quickly. But the pressure, the panic, is not the best advisor to go to go further, because we will make a lot of mistakes. So what happened is companies that they were already in the digitalization process or in the transformation, and also they were using Industry 4.0 technologies, realized that the Industry 4.0 technologies can help us a lot during the lockdown. So for one side, we have social distancing, quarantine, isolation, protection in the hospitals, in doctors, new treatments, looking for new vaccines because we don't know about COVID-19. And the technology is here to support video conferences like this. So telework, many employers are working from homes, cloud computing to move all the operations on the cloud, Internet of Things to stay connected with the people and the things, chatbots as well, artificial intelligence to research about the virus, chatbots for diagnosis the virus, 3D printing to support about the fabrication, the production of ventilators, and also the mass screens, augmented reality to work together in a distance. So this crisis is speeding the evolution of the Industry 4.0 very, very quickly. What the history and the economy says to us is epidemics accelerate change that will be otherwise slower. So that we are going to go in the future is a very even incremental speed about the implementation of the Industry 4.0 in all the companies. Because now it's a must. It's not an option, it's a must. So in my experience as a research in resilience and agility, we know that there are two different, in this impact of the cure, this yellow line, there are three different stages. So the first one is when we suffer the impact, and this is a time for the mitigation. And this is when we prove our resilience and if we can keep the operations. But in this case, what happened with the demand is shutting down. No? Second one is the time for the recovery, the adaptive period. And also the third one, which is very important, is exactly in the middle, right in the middle, which is now where we are living now. When we know after 3 months of the COVID-19, we know more or less the situation. We cannot foresee the future, but we know that it's going to be very difficult and different, at least for 1 year or 2 years. So there are 3 years to approach to build resilience and agility in these situations. And it's planning 3 different scenarios. Planning 3 different scenarios for all our decisions. First one is reset. And this is for this stage that we are right now. So we need to reset all our operations because we need to adapt in the future. So what we need is to shift down as much as possible our operations to be able to restart the business in a new situation in the future. Nothing is going to be like it was before. So then we need to start to figure how is going to be the future. And then in the future, reinvent the future. Because now we know the implementation of the technology is faster than before. The competition is going to be even more aggressive than before. But having also this context of uncertainty by the COVID-19. And of course, if it's possible, to grow, to go out of this disruptive situation with the highest competitiveness that our competitors. Take the crisis as a good opportunity, as a good chance to improve our business. How we can do this in my researches regarding the Japanese industrial companies listed in the Nikkei 225, I realized that there are some KPIs, key performance indicators that can help us to monitor, to watch the evolution even in real time. So watching this evolution of these KPIs, we can see more or less how long is going to be our recovery time. First one is return of investment capital. Second one is days of working capital. And third one is quarter-over-quarter revenue growth. The fourth is operating margin cumulative. Of course, makes sense. These are financial ratios, but this is the order. This is the order of the correlation of the companies that they succeed very well in previous crises. I studied 3 different crises in evolution time series of 20 years, including in Japan, the Lehman Brothers crisis, and also the Fukushima and the earthquake crisis, and the first one. Then, this is one example what happened in 2011 when the Tohoku earthquake impact. For the operating margin, the cumulative in the 95 industrial companies listed in the 225 Nikkei. So it was a period of recovery. But this was economic system, and then suddenly the crisis happened, the earthquake happened, the operating margin of the companies went down. They tried to recover, trying to do the best, and it was for a little, it's a kind of miracle, but after that they fall again. because in fact they need to adapt to the new situation. If they keep performing like it was before the earthquake, this is not going to be long-term strategy. Then they readapt and they started to grow. And there is another KPIs to watch about the impact and recovery. First one is the same operating margin cumulative. Third one is inventory turnover cumulative, end of period average. Third one is days of payable outstanding. 4 is return on assets. And the fifth is quarterly year-over-year revenue growth. With this, we have this picture about what happened in 2011 after the recovering 3-4 years later of the companies. So 20% of the companies, they achieve a better position than they were before. So they use the crisis to improve the competitiveness. 47% of the companies, they were resilient. So they keep more or less the same performance, same turnover, and all the KPIs. But 33% of the companies, they were disrupted. And this is the risk. If we don't plan for the future and how we are going to implement Industry 4.0 in the future, we can fall in this area, red area of the disrupted companies. This is just a simulation, but I keep here when we will share the slides. If we go through these financial ratios and we have our company, and if this is the way for Japanese companies, but it's easy to adjust, we can more or less predict how long it's going to take to our company to recover after the crisis. Depending on the return on invested capital, if it's below 0.025, over 0.0025 or below, then we can be between a period of 2 years or 2 years, 2 or 2.7 years. If our quarter-over-quarter revenue growth is good, then we can be between 2.25 years or 3.25 years. If our working capital is also good, we can be between 225. And then if our quarter by quarter revenue is more or less stable, we can recover in 1.7 years. So less than 2 years against the almost 3.5 years that other companies they used to have. So we can be in the top of the performance. So people more responsible to change are who they lead the change. According to the researches that I do together with Professor Michiya Morita, emeritus professor from Gakushūin University, that he has a long experience researching about operations and about Industry 4.0. We realized that companies that they implemented Industry 4.0, they are all of them, they are over the average of the performance. And especially that companies that they are linking the product design for Industry 4.0 and the smart factory related with the product design and also with the supply chain. These companies are standing better than others. And one example of our business school in Tokyo. So we were able to change, to move 100% of our classes to online. That means 241 courses in just 1 weekend. So we moved 993 MBA students in just 2 days to online. And that means an average of 65 classes per day. But this was thanks that we have a previous experience working in the application of Industry 4.0 in the education field, and at the beginning we have 12% of the online courses already. So what this expertise, this experience, and of course a lot of people working together, that made possible that in 2 days we move all our operation to the online. So we didn't stop the operations. The disruption didn't impact in our ads. So if we want to build Industry 4.0 beyond the COVID-19 with all these systems and solutions that my colleagues here, they are introducing, we need to move quickly to the cyber physical organization. a networked organization with people inside of the company, outside of the company, in the networks, but also with a virtual organization fostered by IoT and artificial intelligence. That is what we call the augmented enterprise. Is the orchestration of the two big organizations now we have in the company, the virtual organization that is artificial intelligence, IoT, people working in networks outside of the office, from home or from different countries, and our human organization that is the traditional organization chart. We already know, and we are familiar with the taxonomy of the Industry 4.0. This is our approach, no big difference. But see, our conclusions is that if we go through the product design for manufacturing and the IoT data connection, plus the PLC automation and sensoring and robotics, everything that my colleagues are proposing, and also augmented reality, what we are building is the lean side of the company as a physical, so the muscle. And then after that, if we go augmented reality, the IoT as a platform, artificial intelligence, and the cloud in the platform, connecting all these virtual organizations, what we build is the agile. And this is the connection between the cyber and the physical on the brain. This is the way that we can approach to different crises, and next crisis that, of course, unfortunately, COVID-19 is here to stay. We don't know yet how to solve, and the most probably in 2 or 3 years we will have another virus like this or another crisis. So it's the solution is to use the Industry 4.0 not only inside of the factory, also to expand in our organization and to create also the virtual organization. And that's all from my side. So it's about people and machines working together in sync for a better world. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.